Hi there, it's Nicole here today with a birthday card featuring brand new from stamps and dies from Fawn, paired with some previously released stamps and dies. This is one of my favorite things to do within a company, is to go back and pull older stamps and dies and combine them with new ones. This is a gift within a card. So there is a bookmark included in this card that you can pull out and use. This is actually going to be a birthday card for my niece. This is the products that I'm going to use. This is the new For You Dear stamp set and For You Dear add-ons from Fawn. Now this actually is going to be released, I believe, August 24th. So I know I generally try not to show projects and videos with product that hasn't been released yet. However, these can be pre-ordered at Simon Says Stamp, which is fantastic. So if you want to make sure you get these, I would highly suggest going ahead and pre-ordering them. I wanted to show that even though this is more of a quote-unquote Christmas themed card, that it can definitely be used for other occasions like I'm going to do here. I'm also using some brand new dies. This scallop rectangle and then the scallop circle that I used to create the window. These are the outside in stitched scallop circles and scalloped rectangles. Fantastic new basics, incredible, incredible. I love them. I also die cut that circle again from some Post-it or low tack paper, and I'm masking off the scalloped edges. So that's why there's a white ring around the middle, and then of course the white all the way around. This is from the Mermaid cardstock from Fawn. I'm also going to use the Mermaid ink to stamp. This is the only non-Fawn product I'm using here today as far as stamps and dies go. The Simon Says Stamp gingham background. And this is going to completely cover and give a nice tone-on-tone texture and pattern to this background. And by masking off these edges, it instantly gives it that matted look. And I love how that looks. So there's what that's going to look like. This is kind of my base layer. This is going to be the front where a little banner and the greeting is going to go. The little bear is going to be hanging over the edge. For the bear, there is a front and a back to these. Definitely don't have to use them with the bookmark dies if you don't want to, but I think it's really fun to do that. On the bookmark die here, I did die cut that from that same Mermaid cardstock, and what I'm going to do is take a greeting from the stamp set and the two bear pieces and stamp those. And I'm going to move this up. I apologize, I'm a little bit out of the frame here, but I'm using this is a very good book greeting, and then of course the front and back of the bear. That way the bookmark has a cute little face on the front, and of course the little back side will be on the back of the bookmark. Just adorable. I think it's such a fun idea. Now I'm going to do some super easy Copic coloring. Not a lot of colors used here because it's just a polar bear. I want to add a tiny touch of color to give it a little bit of interest. You would not have to make this a polar bear either. I could just as easily see coloring this bear in any color that you want. Some warm grays here are being used for the polar bear. I'm using warm gray 5 is the darkest with warm gray 1 and 00 and R00 for the cheeks and anything like that. And I'm going to just work these colors. The darkest warm gray 5 actually is adding any of those shadows or nice shading that you see there. It's going to be very light, especially when blended out, and really only adds texture. I don't want to take away from the fact that the polar bear is white. I want to give it some shading so it's more interesting than just a flat white stamped image. That R00 was used on the inside of the ears as well. Once these are all colored, I can die cut those with the coordinating For You Dear dies. And it is called For You Dear because included in this, there is the polar bear that I'm using and also an adorable reindeer. Very much in the style of the reindeer that Lawn Fawn has done in the past couple years, which is just so super cute. I absolutely love it. Now, my Copic markers kind of bled outside the lines. I got a little too aggressive with my warm gray 0, 0, and 1. So I went around with a white opaque pen and simply covered that up. Here are my little pieces. Now that little tab is bothering me right between the polar bear's arms. If I was putting this in another type of project, it wouldn't even be seen because it would just simply have the bear popping up over the edge. But it's not really working for the bookmark, I don't think, at least for me. So I'm going to trim that off. I folded it up first to make sure that I really wanted to do that. And I definitely think I do. So I'm going to just take a pair of scissors and snip that off. And that's going to be awesome. I'm going to take some great little Zotz Bling glue dots and attach my bear front to the front of my bookmark. Wouldn't these be fun for holiday gift tags as well? You could do these in whatever color scheme you're using for holiday wrapping paper, and several of the greetings work really well for gift tags, plus there's a to and a from greeting on the stamp set, so incredible. Next, I am going to take some narwhal cardstock from Lawn Fawn and using that same scallop die that I used before, minus the circle, I am going to die cut this from an A2 sized piece of cardstock, 5.5 inches by 4.25 inches. This is going to be kind of the background or outline of my card. Now, originally I was going to use it like this, and then I thought more of an inlay, but I don't want that white back behind the bookmark. And this way I can insert that gray piece, so it's going to show gray back behind my bookmark, plus I can pop up my top panel and put foam adhesive around the edges, which is going to allow me to have a little slot that the bookmark slides in and out of so that the recipient can easily pull it out and use it. So go ahead and attach the back of my polar bear to the bookmark now. Isn't that so super cute? Plus I don't know if you can tell or not, but I drew on some eyelashes to make my polar bear look more like a little girl. This is for my niece, so I thought I would dress her up just a little bit. That's why you're going to see a little bow tie in her hair here as I get to finishing up the card, and some little butterflies as well. This is some really pretty lawn trimmings twine that matches the mermaid cardstock perfectly. It's going to be a great little bookmark pull and make it super easy to pull the bookmark out of the card. And I think what I love so much is, and I've mentioned this before from the last release, Lawn Fawn has the Push Here stamp set. And this is the stamp set that has Push Here, Press Me, Open Me, Shake Me, Look Inside, all of those greetings that tell you that the card is interactive. So kind of over here to the left of the bear, I am going to stamp with some Lawn Fawn Yeti White pigment ink, pull here, and then use one of the little arrows to show that you need to pull the bear out. It tells the recipient that there is something else going on. It's not just a cute little card with a little bear. So that is, the white pigment ink also isn't overpowering, I don't think. I think it kind of is subtle enough that I love how it looks on the gray cardstock, and it's just going to work perfectly. I'm going to put some adhesive on a white top fold card base, and then go ahead and adhere my frame and that inside piece right on my card base. And then I can go ahead and flip my panel over, and I want to leave my bookmark there because it's going to give me a good idea of where not to put my foam adhesive. I'm going to put it around both sides and along the top, and then I'm going to just kind of frame up where the bookmark is so that it doesn't move around a whole lot, but yet it's still really easy to pull out. I definitely think popping up the panel that your bookmark is sticking out of is probably going to help it be removed super easy. You wouldn't have to do this, I don't think, but I also think it does help a lot because there's 3 layers of paper on the bookmark: the front of the bear, the back of the bear, and then the actual bookmark. I am going to use this awesome little banner here from the BANNERTASTIC stamp set. Go ahead and add some little white highlights to the eyes too. I went over the eyes and the nose with a black gel pen and let it completely dry, and then added little highlights to the eyes with a white opaque pen. I think I turned off the video camera during that portion, but I did add that. Now, this is dressing up the bear even more. I guess before I do my banner, I am going to add a little bow tie to her hair. I knew all along that I wanted to add some sort of embellishment to the top of her head by her ear. And so I looked for a stamp set that would have something small enough. And I stamped it directly on her, and it wasn't working for me. I thought, great, I have just ruined my whole project. But what I ended up doing was I didn't panic, and I went ahead and from the Yay Kites, this little is a little kite bow. From the Yay Kite stamp set, I stamped the outline, I stamped the bow with fresh lavender, the solid image, and then I went ahead and die cut that, and I'm going to layer it right over the bow I stamped directly on the bear. And I'm using glossy accents to attach it because I don't want it to go anywhere. This is going to be something that gets used in a 6-year-old's books, and so she might be kind of rough on it, and I thought I wanted to use a good strong adhesive, and I think that looks so much better. Now on the back, also from Yay Kites, there's a teeny tiny little heart that I'm going to stamp with some lobster red ink right on the back side, and I just think that's a funny, cute little touch to have on the back of the bear. I'll go ahead and pull off my foam adhesive and pop this panel in place. If I had been thinking, I probably should have waited to add the foam adhesive till the last, but it wasn't until I had the whole card put together that I realized I wanted to add some additional embellishments, which are some little butterflies from the CHIRPY Chirp Chirp stamp set. And I wanted to stamp the butterfly trails. I made it work, but if I had to do it again, I would definitely stamp those first and then add the foam adhesive. Now we're ready for the BANNERTASTIC. I'm going to stamp the banner outline with black ink. I'm going to stamp the solid part of the banner with mermaid ink for the main portion, and then where it folds over and there's those 2 little sections, that's going to be in peacock ink. It's slightly darker, so it's going to give it that look of shadowing. So let's get the mermaid ink piece there first. You see those 2 little white spots where the banner supposedly folds over? And I could have stamped those with mermaid ink, but I thought something a little darker would be a nice way to add instant shadow. So I'm just going to stamp those with some peacock ink. And it's just enough darker, I think it's perfect. And then I'm going to use a greeting from the For You Dear stamp set that reads, "Dropping by to say." And I'm going to use my Misty, but the banner is slightly curved, not very much. So I picked it up straight on first, then I slightly curved the 2 outer edges. I'll ink that up with black ink and stamp it right in the center. So dropping by to say, and then because the rest of the greeting will be in the middle, or pardon me, inside the card, I'm going to add 3 little dots. Die cut this with the coordinating die from BANNERTASTIC. And then I can pop that right on the front of the card underneath where the polar bear is hanging out the window. And just a little bit of dimension with some foam adhesive is going to make that greeting really pop. The little butterflies were stamped with lobster, peacock, and fresh lavender inks. Here is that butterfly trail I was talking about. And then die cut with the coordinating Chirpy Chirp Chirp dies. I think the butterflies really add that fun touch to it. And this is what I was talking about, taking a holiday themed stamp set and turning it into something non-holiday. And by adding some butterflies, a little bow in her hair, and not using anything Christmas color related or Christmas greeting related, it completely makes it a card for any occasion. I'll add another butterfly trail up here for the other butterfly, and I'm going to just use this scrap piece of paper that I had been using to mask that off. The butterflies are attached with some Zotz Bling glue dots. And the front of the card is pretty well done here. I'll stamp the greetings on the inside and it's all finished. Thanks for joining me today for this Bear bookmark card featuring Lawn Fawn stamps and dies. The supplies I used to create this card are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Here are a couple more videos featuring Lawn Fawn that you might be interested in. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.